Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Adam. You're probably thinking, 1. Where's Adam? 2. What the hell is this? Fun fact. I've lost the audio files for Zelda Part 8. They've just completely gone missing. Like, I must have accidentally saved Part 9 over Part 8, but it's just no audio file, so either you listen to just Adam's audio and me at dangerously low volumes, or I thought I'd just commentate over this episode, which, to be honest, I don't even know what I'm doing. I believe I was still trying to just get through this dungeon, kill the Dodongos, bombs have something to do with it. I think it was something about getting the dungeon item, I'm not sure, but I remember having a miserable time in these next two parts. We've got audio for part 9, don't worry. But, for now, it's just me. And I've died already. Jesus Christ, I'm terrible at this game. Wow. Yeah, I've noticed that's one thing about this Zelda playthrough, we've been doing a lot, which is just me dying. Like, from what we've seen of the feedback, Zelda 1's quite fun to watch. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. So, happy to keep up with Zelda. I'm not having a terrible time with the game, but it's certainly challenging me. I'm just sitting on the raft killing mummies. Yeah, I remember those things do way more damage than they ought to. Like a lot of things these later dungeons do. I don't know if I mentioned this in the episode, but that map looks ridiculously like E.T. I don't know why it reminds me of E.T. Probably because his Atari sprite from the Atari, that game. Never played it, don't plan to. Nope, not playing it for Adam². I'm dead again! How am I dead again? Jesus Christ. I'm terrible at this game. Wow. Alright, attempt number 3 for part 8. I don't know where it all goes wrong. No, I know where it all goes wrong. Theoretically, I could have gone and got the third sword by this point in the game. I think I've got enough hearts for it, actually. Yeah, I could have easily gone and got the third sword, but I didn't, and I think we do that in part 9. We say, fuck it, let's go get the third sword. So, part 9, we'll go and get the third sword, which is not too hard to get. We just got to travel to all the way on the other side of the map. That's a pain in the arse. Don't know if I cut that out. Oh, this room. Yeah. This is a room you'll be seeing a lot. Get used to it, because blue dark nuts, unlike the regular dark nuts we've been seeing, take way more of a beating. As you can see, I've not killed a single one yet. And I'm with the second sword. And they also do a shit ton of damage, despite me having the blue ring. Or is it the red ring? I forget. So, very easily I find myself being cornered in that point, with nothing I can do. But that dark nuts are holding the dungeon item. I don't realise it yet, whilst recording this, but they're holding the dungeon item, so I have to defeat them if I want to win. Because this game, like a lot of these things in these games, they don't tell you what happens. And I believe this is the first boss, if I'm not mistaken, where you need the dungeon item to damage it. The boss of this dungeon, which I don't think we've beaten yet, up until what we've recorded, requires I use the dungeon item. But how do I get that? I've got to go through the room of blue dark nuts, which, with my current equipment, 3 hearts, because every time I die I refill with 3, no potions, and these mummies doing a good number on me, this easily becomes a very, very painful process, where strategy, I guess, takes place over attacking, which is annoying because the combat in this game is very archaic. For instance, Link can't move whilst slashing his sword, so you've got to really plan your hits, which, like you can see here, can go wrong very quickly. It's just not fun. It really isn't. You have to put a lot in to get some good results. I mean, you saw in the first dungeon how quickly we went through the dragon boss. That's because we were just so overpowered that we could afford to. So we had the second sword. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I might be checking a map. You gonna move? Wow, power of editing, folks. Cut. And we're back, so... You know, whilst I was standing there doing absolutely nothing, I thought I'd look up a little bit of Zelda trivia. Because I don't know how much further I progressed in this dungeon in this part. Not much, I don't think. This was not a fun time for me, I remember this dungeon. But, in what I did find, what's interesting about this game is, not only was it the first Nintendo game to sell 1 million copies, like not even Super Mario Bros. Did it at the time. Or, okay, the first standalone, because Mario did sell over 1 million, but it was packaged with Duck Hunt, it came with the console, so it's like saying Sonic 1 is better than Sonic 2 because Sonic 1 sold more copies. That's not the case, it was just bundled with the Mega Drive, which was a great idea. But, it also created this thing called the Nintendo Hotline, because apparently American kids had such a hard time with this game, I mean it's ridiculously cryptic, that Nintendo created a hotline so people could call up and say, what do I do here? I mean, if I'm reading this right, thought The Legend of Zelda would be too hard for American gamers, along with including a map. Arakawa, the president of Nintendo at the time, added a toll-free number in the manual, so players could call if they got stuck, although it was really for warranty services. He hired 4 people to handle the telephones. Soon, they were swamped with calls about only Zelda, as well as several other Nintendo games. This eventually turned into the Nintendo Hotline, a paid phones... I can't speak today, ladies and gentlemen. A paid phone service to get help on your favourite games. The hotline is now closed, and Nintendo is directing players to use the internet for help. Huh. Interesting. So, it wasn't just this game that kids were having too much of a hard time with. Fair enough. Am I still fighting mummies? Like, I've completely turned away from the part for a minute, so it's just all what you're watching. I don't blame you for switching to another tab. It's just me fighting zombies for not zombies, mummies for a lot. And getting my heart strained. Oh yeah, I remember, sorry ladies and gentlemen. This is the point where I said, fuck the dungeon item without knowing you need it to win. So, I can't hurt this guy. Fun fact. This is just me aimlessly throwing bombs at it, and it's not going to do anything. I'm going to keep taking pot shots, and I'm eventually going to die no shit. Sorry, having a sip of tea. And I'm dead, what a surprise, because I don't have the dungeon item I need. This dungeon's not fun. But at least it's teaching us for the next dungeon that we've really got to prepare. I also believe one of these dungeons I need to buy an item before I enter. I don't know which one it is, so we'll look when we get there. But I believe it's the one where you have to buy an expensive meat or food, and the monster you'll find that needs it will just say grumble grumble. So how on earth is anyone without a guide or the map supposed to know this? How are we supposed to know grumble grumble translates to give me the really expensive meat you can't really afford but should have it in your inventory anyway? But I actually don't think dying is too bad at the moment, because if you look at our rupee counter, we've definitely made some fat stash off just doing the same thing over and over again. The maximum is 255. Why it's specifically 255, I'm not sure, but it might be something to do with the NES hardware and how it handles variables, because I believe it's doing it in, it's not binary, because that's base 2. I believe it's done in denary, where it will go up to 255 max number. I'm probably very wrong about that, and people in the comments are more than welcome to correct me, and I'll happily say, oh, nice one, I'm fucking wrong. But that's what I believe it was. That's what I read somewhere, so don't quote me on that. Wait, I got a B in IT. I've got a degree in that. Fuck me. Why do I not know this shit? I don't know. Denary and binary were two things I never paid a lot of attention to. Am I now trying to use the arrow? No, I'm wasting rupees now. Yep, you can't damage him. And I'm going to have to die again. Here we go. Actually, that sounded like I was damaging it, but I don't think the hit points registered because I wasn't using the dungeon item. So that might be the issue there. This is probably me contemplating suicide, along with another look at the guide, so we'll cut again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I might have given up at this point. Well, I hate to cut the episode short, but that's it for today. If you enjoyed listening to me just blabber on over the part, then by all means leave a comment saying so. We'll see you in the next part, ladies and gentlemen, with proper audio. Take care.